DILR is something that can be aced only when you solve multiple types of sets, because there is no specific formula for this section. It is not like Quant where you have specific chapters and specific formulae and you use them here. So most of these DILR sets are combined. Most of them are mixed sets in the final exam. So you won't be asked on a specific topic. So you have to start practicing. Here, you don't have to start with moderate. You can start with easy, because sometimes in exam you get very easy sets also. Because in 2024 we were given 5 sets. Out of 5, I think 3 or 4 of them were very easy. So we were expected to solve all 5 of them. So many people got their percentile less, because since all the 5 sets were easy, people ended up solving more. So here you have to be a little smart in how many questions you solve, depending up. I mean, I'm telling this because we had a slide with percentile versus score comparison. So with DILR, you can solve it. You can start with easy sets. So July, since we're almost towards end of, we have another close to a month. So you can solve easy sets now and move to medium sets and in October and November, you can solve difficult sets. Once you cross the bar of medium, you're always in a safer space for the final exam. Difficult is just to make it easy for you on the D-Day. Right. So these are some of the topics I had covered. These are some of the things you can focus on also. Few people can find few easy, the others can find them difficult. So play your strengths. That is more important. So start with your strength, become very well versed with what all topics you feel comfortable, and then move on to the difficult ones. And the same goes with DI also. And again, if you see the previous year question papers, you might not find a lot of DI. But in 2024, we had DI more than LR. So it can be a surprise. So don't border yourself only to LR. Please solve DI sets also. So DI sets are mostly, I would say, they are easier than LR because this is very objective, very straightforward. You have graphs, charts, you have numbers there. All you have to know is how to analyze them and calculate them. So some of the concepts, important concepts for DI is ratio, average, percentage, and mostly these sets, logics. So most of these are represented in the DI sets. And mixed sets are something which get asked very frequently. So it has a combination of DI and LR. So again, this you can solve only with practice, right? So there are some scheduling, trains, flight questions. So all of these you can start solving, and only with practice you can ace this section. And finally, the quant. So quant, I had my own way of preparation because I had very less time to prepare. I started from end of around this time last year. So I had a lot to cover, and I divided the chapters based on my strengths. So analyzing the previous year papers, I realized that the paper can be either arithmetic heavy or algebra heavy. So you have to choose one based on your strength. I found my strength more in arithmetic, so I put that under my important category, and I put algebra under partial. So either of them will be easy and the other will be difficult. In this case, since I chose arithmetic, I was ready for any difficult question from arithmetic and easy questions from algebra. So you will be in a safer space when either happens. So this is a partition which I made. And again, this is very completely subjective. If you are stronger in others, then I think you have to scramble these buckets according to your strength. But despite that, I believe that all of us should try to be well versed with number systems, permutation, combination, probability, logarithms, because these are sections which you can cover easily. And some or the other question keeps getting asked from these sections. So you'll be able to answer a few in the exam. And I was not very comfortable with geometry, trigonometry, and mensuration. So I just put them in an optional space. and I was not able to cover them, but still I was in a very safe space in the exam. But the other topics, it's very important to be covered. And I want to again point it out, this is very subjective. This is how I bucketed the topics. But if you feel like the others are your strength, then you can. But try to cover arithmetic for sure, and algebra completely if you're super comfortable with it.
In the quantitative ability, it's pretty straightforward. It's class 12th maths. Again, it's just practice here. One thing that you guys have to remember about CAT is it's a rejection examination. They want to filter out people, so they are just testing for your speed there, like how fast can you do the questions, and how correctly you do the questions. Can you maintain your concentration there for 2 hours? That's all they're checking. There they are not checking your intellectual ability at all. That is one thing that you guys should just keep in your minds when that should be your headspace when you are sitting in that examination. So quant is that's for quant, and maybe identify a few areas in which you are very strong. Get those areas absolutely on point, like you should not be losing marks there. And then maybe from the weak areas you can attempt those questions in the end if you have some time. In quant, it's not necessary that you attempt all the questions. For example, in my experience, out of 22 questions I attempted 13 questions, and all 13 I got right. So focus more on the accuracy even when you're giving your mocks, or when you're doing questions out of your books, etc. Because right, there is negative marking there, so there is no point in doing 4 correct and 2 wrong, because it will eventually turn out to be like the net effect will be you're just doing three questions correctly. So in that sense, just focus on the accuracy. Even if you do like attempt like 15 questions, try to get 90% accuracy there. So that will stand you in that will hold you in very good stead when it comes to the final marks. Coming to the data interpretation, logical reasoning, if you have just started out the preparation, this particular section will feel very overwhelming in the beginning, and I request everybody here to not lose out hope there, because even I in the beginning felt really overwhelmed. uh, I, if I attempted let's say 3 questions of 3 parts, three DILR blocks with 3 questions each, sometimes I was not even able to solve one of them. That was how bad I was in the beginning. But with practice, what happens is you start to identify patterns in each and every question. That's the trick for DILR questions. You have to basically do so many questions that almost all the questions will fall under one, or like there are some 10 to 15 patterns with which you can solve every DILR question. They will fall under that. You have to just identify that and put it into practice. So that is where the practice comes in, where you develop muscle memory by just looking at the question and getting it there ki this is how I will have to go about it. Once you get that trick, it's a very straightforward question. It's very rare. So what will happen is there are 20 questions here, so it will be split into, I guess, 5 or 4 sets, out of which one set will be super difficult. So in DALR especially, it is absolutely important that you identify which question is easy, like which set is easy and which set is not. If you get stuck in a set which is tough, then what will happen is you'll waste a lot of your time, your confidence will get dented, and then that headspace will carry on to the next set also. So before attempting that the DLR section, in the last 40 minutes, go through the entire 4 sets, go through all the 20 questions, and then decide. Give like 4 minutes or 5 minutes to it. That's not an issue at all. But once you have identified there is one set which is incredibly difficult, which I don't think I'll be able to do even if I give 40 minutes to that one set itself, just strike that set out. Just that's your sunk cost. Leave that out, and you might have like 13 to 14 questions remaining, out of which you can easily attempt 12 questions. And even from that, if you get 10 questions right, your exam is done. Like if you get 10 questions right, you are easily in the top, let's say, 1 percentile. I can guarantee that. It plays that big a differential there. So I got only 7 questions right. Okay, and I still was able to score very well. So that is what identifying a set the difference that it makes. So that is a strategy that I followed, and that's what I just told you guys. Like this was my mental map of going through the examination.
In DILR, the most important thing is to pick up the right set. All the sets are not of same difficulty. There are some sets which are easier, and there are some sets which are slightly tough. They're more difficult. So first, you must just go through all the questions, like the main sets, and you must develop the skill to identify which set is suitable to your strengths and weaknesses. So always target the set which is easier first. And this will only happen through practice. Just go through the previous year questions and start developing your own preference for which type of topics you're comfortable with. For example, graphs or charts. These are usually easier to attempt, in my opinion. So I used to do them first. In DILR, accuracy is very important. So if you pick a set, just go through it. Be patient with it and focus on the set. I've often felt that if you do not concentrate while solving the DILR questions, you will find it very difficult to solve the subsequent MCQs. So my advice is that be patient with DILR and pick the correct sets, and that's it. Moving on to also one more thing for DILR. If you are able to improve your calculation speeds, then it will greatly benefit in saving time. For example, I used to know the percentages of all the fractions. So for example, from 1/2, 1/3 up till 1/20, I know the percentages. So if you ask me what's 1/3, it's 33.33, you know it. So similarly, be aware of all percentages till 1/20. So 1/3 is 33.33, 1/6 is 16.66, 1/12 is 8.33, so on and so forth. So it will help you in quick calculations. This mental math will help you save valuable seconds, which overall will benefit you greatly. Now coming on to the quant part. Now quant, it's very important to have a clarity of concepts. If you are picking up one topic today, let's say ratio and proportion, just be completely thorough with it. Have conceptual clarity, because otherwise you will struggle if the questions are twisted. So if you are doing one topic, go do it perfectly and just identify your strengths and weaknesses. You do not need to master every single topic. I was not good at geometry questions that much, so I did not put extra efforts in improving myself at geometry. Instead, I worked on my own strengths. It was like speed, distance and time and work, percentage, profit and loss. So all these topics I worked more because I was already comfortable with them.